the 14-day revenue challenge, where breakdowns are prone to happen, and we're excited about rocking your world for the next 14 days. So here's the deal. We are going to run Monday through Friday where I'm streaming. And when I'm streaming, I'm going to be teaching you every single day different revenue tactics to be able to move your business to the next level. So if 10% of people actually finish anything they start, like if you buy a course and only 10% of the people actually finish, doesn't that drive you nuts? I mean, I've purchased products and I have been guilty of it sitting in my inbox or sitting on my shelf. Back in the day, they used to sit on your shelf. Now they sit in a file somewhere on your computer because everything's digital. And I've not finished them because it takes a lot of discipline. In fact, in the Facebook group for this challenge, I was talking the other day about how it's taken me 2 months to update my morning routine. But what is my morning routine? I get up, I drink 32 ounces of water, then I read my scripture, and then I study something with business. But when I've got any sort of stress in my life, I feel, and tell me if you guys are the same, go in the chats, go in the comment sections, tell me if you're the same, that when I feel any sort of stress, I can feel like the urgency pushing me, like it's like this hurried energy. Does anybody else feel that? Do you get that hurried energy? Go in the chat or the comment section, let me see. Hurried energy. So hurried energy is actually fear of intimacy. It's fear of intimacy. And what that means is that when you're moving really fast, the reason why you're fearful of intimacy is because in intimacy is where money's made. In intimacy is where connection is created. In intimacy is where you actually solve the problems. You have to actually like even opening up this challenge, how the breakdowns were happening all around me. I could have just faked it and rolled through it 100%, but I'd be doing the entire day one challenge looking at myself on a 3-minute, 4-minute delay, which would mean that I couldn't be in intimacy with you to deliver the content that I'm delivering now. Do you see a difference in my all in? Like I was distracted and now I'm all in. So when we get busy, it's actually the furthest thing from creating money. True story. When I got into real estate, I mean, it was when Blackberries were around. I was going to grab my phone, but my phone's disappeared somewhere. Literally, pretend this is my phone. I would be on my Blackberry 24/7. You'd be talking to me and I'd be on my Blackberry 24/7. And there was a level of, I felt like I was important if I was busy. And I don't think it was conscious at all. But I literally was so busy that I was too busy to actually make money. In other words, has anybody watching right now and the deals you're working on, you're absolutely tired that they're not coming together the way you want them to? Like you're working your tail off, but things are not coming together the way they're supposed to. Like, welcome to my old story. Welcome to my old story. That was my old story. And if you're in that story right now, I promise you that I can move you out of that, but you need to show up for the revenue challenge every single day. And I'm not saying that because it solves a problem for me. I'm saying that because I was saying to the VIPs, if you're a VIP and you don't have your video on, you're kidding yourself, right? We've got to hold ourselves accountable and show up all the way, be all in, cut out the distractions. We got to cut out, the way we do one thing is the way we do everything. So there's 3 things that I want to be talking to you about for the next, 45 minutes. Hopefully this doesn't mess you up. Here, I'll put this right here so it doesn't. Okay, there's 3 things I want to be talking to you about. Number 1, and write this down, is that you have to look for how things are working out. Like, could you imagine if at the beginning of this live, day 1 of the challenge, and could you imagine if I would have imploded with the 3 different platforms going on at the same time? The team's all doing their best, but they don't know what's happening if I can't communicate it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I have to stop, no matter whether you're watching or not, I have to get intimate with the moment and fix it. I need to solve the problem so that I can see it working out versus being committed to looking good. I need you to hear this right now. Because money loves power. Money loves courage.
Hey, welcome to this 14-day revenue challenge. When was the last time you had somebody get behind you and your dreams, get behind your business, and show you how to actually create cash injections, increased revenue, and even consistency emotionally, so getting rid of frustration and overwhelm so that you know how to manage it well. There's nothing worse than an entrepreneur that has temper tantrums behind closed doors because that kills your speed of growth. So before I get into all of that, I just want to share with you that we did this challenge last year. We got epic results with people. In fact, my Instagram and my Facebook was just filled with success stories. People that were creating $1,000 in a day, people that were creating like explosive amounts of income. And I'm not saying that you're going to do that. Like, that's not what I'm here to tell you. I'm here to say, what if we can move the dial a little bit over the next 14 days to put more cash flow in your bank, or to be able to teach you how to create more revenue when you decide to create more revenue. I think it would be worth your time. So I've been coaching for 10 years now. I've coached thousands of entrepreneurs, both in the coaching field, people who are teachers, real estate, network marketers. I mean, I have coached so many people, stay-at-home moms. I've coached so many people how to grow businesses on their own terms. We call them legacy empires. I take off 5 months a year and I have an 8-figure company. Let me show you how I focus on my revenue. Let's go. Let's increase your revenue starting now. Put your name, email, phone number. I'll see you on the other side.
It wants nothing to do with the looking good conversation. Success, it leaves clues. And the biggest clue is that strong leaders have an ability to walk through the breakdown and realign it, and they don't attach to it. Doesn't mean anything about them. Do you know what I'm saying? Like us breaking down, it doesn't change my identity. It doesn't change my identity whatsoever. It doesn't change my ability to, in fact, it enhances my ability to make money. It enhances my ability to be a better mother. It enhances my ability to be a better friend. It enhances my ability to be a better CEO, because we can solve the problem quicker if I can stand in the heat of the fire and still lead with full courage and confidence. Okay, so confidence doesn't come until competency comes. Some of you guys who have been following me for a while, I say that all the time. It was Dan Sullivan who taught that to me. Another thing that leaders do is they give credit to the people who taught them things. They don't sit there and claim other people's stuff, right? When you learn something from somebody else, you don't claim it, you share it. So the real way that I wanted to open up this challenge is to tell you that everything you've been working on gets to come together. It gets to come together. And if you've been working on growing a business, if you've been working on creating more money or revenue in your life, then for 14 days, if you were to prioritize it with me, then you're going to have some movement in that area. If you get distracted, then you're not going to have the movement that you want. And so distractions, by the way, when your mental capacity, and this goes back to step 1 around seeing things working out, when your mental capacity goes into breakdown, you start to get distracted. Who can see an area of your life you're distracted in right now? Go in the chat, the comments. Who can see an area? And if you know the area, put it down. Be like, I'm distracted with my kids. I'm distracted with my relationship. I'm distracted with, my boss. I'm distracted with a negative client. I'm distracted with my sister. I'm distracted with my husband or wife losing their job, right? So I'm distracted with taxes. I'm distracted with looking good. I'm distracted with being a caregiver, cheap clients. I'm distracted with worrying about what people will say about me. I'm distracted with organizing my time. My dog, my kids, I'm distracted with learning more and more and more, right? So this is powerful. So you guys should all look at whatever platform you're on right now. Look at the chats. Okay, look at the chats. And the reason why I say look at the chats is because you need to not feel alone in this game. You need to not feel alone in this game. Okay, this is from VIP, so I'm just going to flip it over. What you need to do in my opinion, this is just what has unhooked me from the days of disappointment when things often didn't come together for me financially. And what I realized is that I can change the game for myself. Who's ever read the book Tiny Habits from BJ Fogg? Anybody read the book Tiny Habits from BJ Fogg? Sue, yes. Spencer, yes. Okay, so I recommend everybody do that. No, I'm not an affiliate of theirs. I'm called a leader, and a leader shares good things with other leaders like you to get ahead. Okay, so one of the characteristics of leaders is we are evangelists. How many people shared this challenge with a friend? How many people shared this challenge with a friend? Right? It's a great reality check. So some of you guys did, yes. Right? So it's a great reality check. To be a great leader, you need to be an evangelist. If tactics got you to success, then everybody would be successful. I was talking to VIPs about this. Everybody would be successful because most of the tactics you've learned, there's a tactic for writing a good book. There's a tactic for a marketing plan for a Wall Street or New York Times bestseller. There's a tactic for getting signed on by a publisher. There's a tactic for making money. There's a tactic for negotiating. There's a tactic for a great phone script to a sale. There's a tactic for developing a great upsell model for a funnel. There's a tactic, do you guys get me? There is a tactic for everything. But if you're gonna make it, you need to be the leader.
Hey, welcome to this 14-day revenue challenge. When was the last time you had somebody get behind you and your dreams, get behind your business, and show you how to actually create cash injections, increased revenue, and even consistency emotionally, so getting rid of frustration and overwhelm so that you know how to manage it well. There's nothing worse than an entrepreneur that has temper tantrums behind closed doors because that kills your speed of growth. So before I get into all of that, I just want to share with you that we did this challenge last year. We got epic results with people. In fact, my Instagram and my Facebook was just filled with success stories. People that were creating $1,000 in a day, people that were creating like explosive amounts of income. And I'm not saying that you're going to do that. Like, that's not what I'm here to tell you. I'm here to say, what if we can move the dial a little bit over the next 14 days to put more cash flow in your bank, or to be able to teach you how to create more revenue when you decide to create more revenue. I think it would be worth your time. So I've been coaching for 10 years now. I've coached thousands of entrepreneurs, both in the coaching field, people who are teachers, real estate, network marketers. I mean, I have coached so many people, stay-at-home moms. I've coached so many people how to grow businesses on their own terms. We call them legacy empires. I take off 5 months a year and I have an 8-figure company. Let me show you how I focus on my revenue. Let's go. Let's increase your revenue starting now. Put your name, email, phone number. I'll see you on the other side.
That sees things coming together. And if I ever spell anything wrong, for all my dyslexic people out there, welcome to the world of courage. It doesn't matter if you're broken, if you're imperfect, if you can't spell, if you suck at writing, if you suck at sales. I'm going to tell you, so many analyzers think you suck at sales and you're amazing at sales. You just need to develop your leadership. You just need to develop your leadership. That's it. And so this was a huge aha for me in making money, because I thought if I just kept chasing the tactics, if I do a webinar, I'll be successful because Joe was successful. If I do an event, I'll be successful because Suzanne was successful. If I was blank, I would be successful. I'm going to tell you, every single mentor except for one now, I have actually exceeded their revenue goals in a quarter of the time. The reason why that's powerful for you to understand is you can do it too. You really can. This is what I focused on. I focused on leadership. I think one of the smartest things Dean Graziosi ever did in his business, and he's the only mentor that I haven't exceeded yet, is joint venture with Tony Robbins. Why? Because whether you like Tony Robbins or not, he's a phenomenal leader. His superpower is to get you to jump up and down and change your emotional state, deal with your trauma, and take action. Everybody thinks the tactic is the thing, but you're the freaking engine. You're the engine. I had a 23-year-old sit in one of my masterminds, and she said, actually, that's not true. She was 21. She said, the best thing a mentor ever taught me was to focus on my leadership. She goes, to focus on my leadership. That little girl, in my opinion, at 21 is still a little girl. That little girl literally was making $2 million a year. And the only thing she focused on was her leadership. She didn't focus on her business tactics. She didn't focus on any of that. It was her leadership. Why am I telling you this? Most of you guys are going to experience, if you make it to the 1%, and it doesn't take a lot to make it to the 1%, it takes doing less, being highly focused, and being one heck of a great leader, which means that when you decide to do something, do you cross the finish line? And let me give you a caveat to that. I don't care if you don't like what you're doing. I'm not here to be your friend right now. I'm here to be the coach that actually moves the dial. The coach that actually helps you move the dial. Okay. So we didn't sign up for this to be besties, although I'm sure I would love many of you. It's actually to get you across the finish line financially. I'm going to teach you tactics every day, but if you're okay with it, I'm going to teach you leadership along the way, because it's the leadership and the leaders that I bring in to teach you tactics. While they're teaching you the tactics, I want you to pay attention to the way that they think, not from an analytical, smart way. I mean, I grew up with somebody telling me I was stupid my entire early part of my life. And so that was a trauma piece I had to fight with a lot, and still do, really. You know, so now I know that the smartest people are not at the top. I know it's not a prerequisite for me to be in the place that I am now or the place I want to go. Right? So I've unhooked from that, because I actually know without a doubt, you don't have to be smart to get to the top. For some of you smart people, that drives you nuts, because maybe you got a PhD and really smartened yourself all the way. But I only know one person that went to Harvard that is crushing it financially. Almost all of them are either dropouts or they've self-educated. Well, they've all self-educated on programs like this. They've self-educated themselves, and they're relentless at focusing on their leadership. You got it? Can you hear me there? So when the trainers are training, you got to watch yourself. First of all, show up every single day. But when the trainers are training, I want you to actually pay attention to how are they leading. And don't connect things like they're confident. They're only confident because now they're competent. You're going to be confident in what you're learning too. After you take action on it and get a result, then you will be confident too. Half the reason why people are not confident is because they actually think it's a prerequisite for success. It's not. Is this helping? Is this helping your mind a little bit? Because I'm hoping to get through some of these walls that have kept you stuck, that have had you quit on things that if you would have went all the way, you would have hit confidence, competency, and massive financial success. Do you know how many people I see? I have a client right now who is literally the most amazing sweetheart. And she's in the first step of starting to lose the understanding that things are coming together. This is somebody who could do $200,000 in a weekend and is debating shutting down her business and going and taking another job. In a job that I'm going to tell you is not her superpower. Why? Because the carrot looks good over here. Okay, and she's doing $200,000 in a weekend. Now, if she grew up and said, I love marketing and I want to create this, that's totally different. That could be a leverage point. But that is not, she never desired to run any sort of an agency. She's not lost, but she's getting lost. Why is she getting lost? Because she's not focused on things that are coming together right now. And so when you hit a hard moment, what happens is people get lost. Who's seeing yourself right now? Go in the chat. Who's seeing yourself right now? Second thing that you need to focus on. First one's freaking more important than anything on the planet, because every tactic you're going to learn in the 14-day revenue challenge, works. And it's not a matter of will it work for you or not. It's actually a matter of will you be the leader to lead it so it comes together. I'm going to give you one caveat. You should write this in stars. You don't ever quit anything in your life until you hit the desired result. I don't care if it's a job. I don't care if it's a relationship. I don't care what it is. You don't quit. Unless you're abused in a relationship. And the reason why is your own leadership gets hit every time you back down. You can justify it all you want, but you back down because you didn't have the leadership to take it to a finish line. And you will keep going in all the different tactics and you will still not get the results that you want. I had a great leader say to me on Sunday, you want friends around you that will give you real feedback. The reason why is because you don't want to be in a community of people that don't tell you what's really breaking down in your blind spot. And most people quit because they justify quitting. I can't tell you, if you learn nothing else on this challenge, that's the most important thing right there. I don't ever quit till I hit the desired result. And you know what's amazing when you hit the desired result? Half the time you don't want to quit.